Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I have some fun goodies to test out from Alter Ego. This is my third video, I believe, to do using their products. Alter Ego does really affordable, inspired by palettes, inspired by some of our favorite higher end, like Natasha Denona, ABH, Huda Beauty. And then they also have their own like lipsticks and brush sets, which that's what I'm going to be using today, is the brush set. They asked if they could send this over and I said absolutely. And then I also decided to test out the Harmony palette. This is an inspired by slash dupe-ish for the Natasha Denona Retro Palette. So I thought it'd be fun to do kind of a holiday glam type of look. We're getting closer to the holidays. I thought that this color story really, to me, would be perfect for holiday time, you know, with these kind of cranberries, these burgundies, these pink, these little shimmers in here. I just thought it'd be really pretty to do that. And to also test out these brushes. So let me show them to you. They look really, really beautiful. So for this bag and then all of these brushes is only $26, which is such a good deal. And I love the rose gold on here with the black. I think they look very, very sleek. They look like really nice quality. There are several face brushes, and they don't have names, they have numbers. So this one is number 1. This one could definitely be powder, blush. This one I feel like could definitely be blush, but also possibly foundation. I'm thinking possibly. And then this I love, like this is one of my favorite types of brushes. There's so many things to use it for, obviously contouring, but I love shapes like this for cream blushes as well. And then we also have this one right here, which I believe is probably some sort of, you know, like buffer brush, perfecting the complexion. And then we have all of these eye brushes as well. Look how pretty those are. I think this would make an excellent gift. I mean, I haven't used them yet, but if they perform well, $26 for this nice sleek bag and this set of brushes, I think would be an excellent gift to give during the holidays. And then let's take another look real quick at the palette. Really, really pretty. I don't own the Retro palette. I own several other Natasha Denona palettes. Love palette is sort of similar color story-ish to this, and I do own that one. So I think what I'm going to do is create 2 different eye looks today. I do have somewhere to go. I have my son's baseball tournament, so I'm just going to go with 2 different eyes. I feel like shades like this, though, you can get away with it. It's different than like one blue eye, you know, bold blue eyeshadow, and on this eye, bold pink. I think I can get away with just being out and about this way. So I will also pick one of the lipsticks. I have 6 other liquid lipsticks, the whole set, so I'll pick one of those to match the looks as well. All right, let's get started. All right, first I'm going to go in with this shade Tender. It looks like a nice kind of crease transition shade. Ooh, okay. We definitely have some pigment right off the bat. So far, that has been the case with my Alter Ego palettes. They have really nice pigment to them, and sometimes I'm surprised. Like just then when I went in, I wasn't really expecting, I thought I'd have to build it up a little bit. I don't know why I thought that, since the other palettes, like the Mirage palette, which by the way is my absolute favorite from Alter Ego. I love that palette. And it had pigment just straight off the gate, so I should have known. I also really love the Sahara palette. That's probably my second favorite. The Sakura palette is the one that is an ABH inspired palette, and that one takes more building up, but it has more pastels in it, so it's not surprising. But yeah, that has some pigment, and this brush is definitely applying it nicely. I like this nice long handle as well. All right, next I'm going to go in with Admire, and I have a different brush. I have a number 7. So that first one was number 6, and this is number 7. It's a little bit more firmly packed, the bristles, so that I can kind of get a little bit more detail work into the crease. The shade isn't picking up really well. Yeah, it's really not picking up much. There might be a slight hard pan to this shade, to be honest. That's definitely not performing like I'm used to. Yeah, it's not picking much up at all. Well, let me go in with Grace instead real quick. Okay, this is picking up. That Admire shade that I was trying to get into, I can tell has this different texture. It's not a shimmer and it's not a matte. It's, I don't know what it is, but I could kind of tell by looking at it. It just didn't look like it was gonna have the smoothness or the pigment or the ease of blending like the mattes. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this palette that look like that formula. So I'll try another one here in a second to see if I have the same issue. But the Mirage palette that I love so much, that is a, by the way, that is a Huda Beauty Empowered Inspired by palette. I don't have any issues with the shades like that whatsoever. So it could be that this palette just isn't quite as good as that one. Okay, that shade's really pretty. That shade and Tinder were really pretty. It's just that Admire shade. Let me see if I can pick up these other ones on my finger that are the same type of formula. A little bit there. Yeah, these are like these satiny kind of sheer mattes that honestly I never love in palettes very much. So I think I'm just going to avoid those all around. So there are 4 shades in here that I'm not going to use, unfortunately, but I think the rest will be okay. Okay, let's go in. You know what? I am going to try to use Mercy. That's that formula. I'm going to see if I can pick some up. Barely. Yeah, those just aren't my jam. Okay, we're going to go in with Sense. Okay, that's better. Yeah, they need to stay away from that one formula. It is no good, which, you know, it's not in the Mirage palette at all. I don't think I noticed it in the Sahara palette or even the Sakura palette. And then there's another one that I've tried. What is it called? I can't think of it right now. I'll put it on the screen, but I don't have any issues with that palette either. I really like that. I wish they would just stick with those formulas. Okay. All right. And this palette is $20. I will say that. So, I mean, what are there? 15 shades. So 11 of these look like, hopefully they'll be, all the rest of them will be decent. I'm going to see if I can pick up the said formula I don't like with this little one. A little bit. It can pick up a little bit with a brush like this, better than like a fluffier brush, but it's still not ideal. You know, with Inspired by palettes, occasionally they're just as good. Like, I would say I have not tried the Empowered palette by Huda, but I do know Huda's formula. I do have the Rose Quartz, and I love that palette. I have Desert Dusk, and then I decluttered 2 of the smaller palettes by Huda because I don't think that those are as good. as their larger palettes. And even knowing the formula in Rose Quartz that I love so much, I think the Mirage palette by Alter Ego is better, honestly, and it's cheaper. But most of the time with Inspired by palettes, you know, sometimes you sacrifice like a tiny bit of quality, but it still maybe outweighs, like maybe it's still good enough where it's worth it to pay, you know, $40, $50 less and just have ever so slightly downgraded quality, but you still get really pretty looks. And then I think it's totally worth it. And then obviously if the quality is even better, like I was saying, it's definitely worth it. Okay, this is like a Bone Shade True. I'm just going to kind of use it. I've grown to love a white or bone shade for like cleaning up. Of course, you can blend into shades to make them more pastel or a different, you know, gradient, but I love it for a cleanup. So I'm so glad that there is that shade in here. But as I was saying, sometimes you do give up a little bit of quality. I'm going to go with Charity, this shimmer shade, for the lower price. And sometimes it's worth it. And then sometimes it's not. Sometimes, you know, it's just worth it to pay that. That's really pretty. Really, really, really pretty. Wow. The sparkle factor is there. There's like shifty sparkles to where you hit certain light and you see pink. I see a little bit of like a purple, a champagne. That is so, so, so pretty. So yeah, I would say so far with this palette, of course, I'm still gathering thoughts, but automatically right out the gate with 4 shades being a formula that I don't really care for, you would just have to decide if you think that it is worth it to, I'm going to take this white shade real quick and just clean this up. You have to decide, is it worth it, you know, to forego 4 shades, but still get some pretty looks out of the palette for 20 bucks, or if you would want to pay the 60, I think the Natasha Denona 68 or 69. That is beautiful though. I mean, I don't know. Let's do the other eye, but I'm almost thinking $20 and just kind of letting those other shades kind of fall to the wayside would maybe be worth it. Possibly. Because that's just so dang pretty. Okay. Okay, let me pop a little inner corner real quick. Let's do, I wonder if this is too dark. This is Amity, Chime, let's see, Accord. I'm just going to put these all on my Chorus. Will, it's definitely a deep purple. And then the Charity that I have on the eyes right now. Okay, here they are. So some of these are those kind of satiny shimmers, and then you do have the Charity that's much more sparkly, the one that I have on the lid. So I think I'm actually just going to take that one again. We're just going to repeat that and pop that in the inner corner. Probably would have helped if I sprayed the brush, but I definitely see some sparkle. That is a really beautiful shimmer. All right, let's move on to this eye. Okay, for this eye, I think what I want to do, we'll do somewhat of a halo. So I'm taking Grace. Woo, man, that has some pigment. Okay, this brush is too big. What am I thinking with my carport eyelids. I have to use more of a flat brush that can get in there. Otherwise, this big old bone right here just blocks it all. Yeah, I mean, these mats are great. Maybe they've learned to, you know, this isn't their most recent palette. You know what I would love, 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 love to see them do next, as far as inspired by, is the Pretty Grunge palette from Huda. I have a video where I was talking about releases that I skipped on and why, or maybe I'm still thinking about picking it up and why, and then releases I was going to purchase and why, new releases that hadn't come out that I was going to skip and why. And Pretty Grunge I had on there as one that at first I skipped thinking it was an easy skip for me. But then I saw people sharing it on TikTok, and everyone's videos, it looked so different than how Huda was presenting it. Just different tone completely. And then I was thinking, oh, maybe I need it. But I know I don't need it. I know I don't need it. But I'm tempted because the shimmers look so pretty in it. So I would love to see Alter Ego do an Inspired by palette that is more affordable than the Huda, and do the quality that they have in the Mirage. I think that would actually do really, really well for them. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now, I believe right above that, I'm gonna actually take the True, that is the white, and I'm just gonna see if I can kind of blend the top of this out into just a lighter shade of itself. Let me see if that works. I'm not sure. It'd probably be better if I go ahead and lay Grace down right here. I know that's not everyone's true way of doing a hooded eye, but I cheat my hooded eye because of the way that my brow bone hangs over. I have to do it that way, or you'll never see. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Now for the lower lash line. Maybe I'll try to take, okay, I'm going to take this Accord, which is actually a shimmer. Oh, that's really pretty. Ooh, that is so pretty. I really like this shimmer a lot, this one. It's a really pretty kind of rose copper. Wow, that'd be stunning on the eyes. It's more of that traditional shimmer type of formula, but very shiny, not sparkly. Not like this is sparkly. This is that shiny. That is super pretty. I like that a lot. I think I really, really like it. I'm going to take Scents, by the way, the deepest kind of burgundy. I would really like this Accord shimmer on the lid for sure. But because I'm a little limited on mattes, because those others have that dang formula, then I kind of had to use a shimmer right there. I'm just getting into that where that bone hangs over and it creases in so much for me with that. Okay, well, I actually do have two totally different eye looks kind of going to the baseball game. I'm not done yet, but they do look quite different, but that's okay. All right, for the center lid, okay, we've got Will. Let's just go, I'm gonna go deep so that I can maybe put something over it. I just wanna see what it looks like. The purple, oh, that's a really pretty purple shimmer actually. It's somewhat flat, meaning it doesn't have a lot of dimension to it. You know, like it's not sparkly, but it is pretty. I probably should have used that for the lower lash line instead of a cord. But that is pretty. I think that framed with like lighter shades, it might stand out a little bit more. But around the dark, it's kind of hard to see. Let's do Amity and kind of lighten that up a little bit. That kind of takes it to a pewter sort of shade. Actually, I do like that. I think it's pretty. Definitely not as like sparkly as the other side yet. Okay, I think I also wanted, let me do this True, the white, and just clean this up a little. So helpful. I've grown to just really appreciate whites in a palette. You can really change the eye shape. I'm going to kind of diffuse this, kind of make it look like where it just fades out instead of being so harsh. Okay, we're looking a little bit more like Christmas glam over here and a little bit more fall on this side, I think. But I mean, you could definitely wear this look anytime. It doesn't have to be fall. So we're putting Chorus, which is that more pink shimmer that's more sparkly like Charity. I do like that. And then I'm going to take this pointed one to try to get that a little bit up in here. Okay, that inner corner stands out a little bit more because I used my finger. So I am going to just come over here and kind of add a little bit more to this side of that Charity shade. Ooh, okay. Okay, I think this looks pretty nice. Of course, it always changes when I put lashes and lip on. So let me put the lashes on and then I'll choose one of the alter ego lips to complement it. Okay, the lashes are on. I do think this is a pretty look. I think they both turned out really, really pretty. If you've been at my channel for a while, you know I always gripe about being in this room and not where I prefer to film. So I usually show what it looks like in the other lighting, and I'm not filming in there. It always has to do with sound. Usually my kids, sometimes it has to do with maybe there's someone mowing the lawn or other things going on, but I can do, you know, like a little music sound over it and show you guys what it looks like in the better lighting. But here is what it looks like. I think it's pretty. Okay, now we get to choose a liquid lipstick. So I have all the shades from them, and these are actually really good. They're only $5, and then the bundle is super cheap. I want to say it's like, if there's 6 of these, $5.30. I want to say it's $25. So basically, it's like you would get $5 off. What would go best with this look? I may do, let's see, Euphoria, maybe too warm. Let me see. You know what? Let's do that because I don't think that I have worn that in a look yet. So we're going to do Euphoria. But this is really sleek, nice. Oh yeah, it's like a nice rose, so that'll work. The packaging is really sleek. I think this is a comfortable matte. I love to take pictures with a matte lip. And then I will add a gloss on top for comfortability to go throughout the day, but I love how it looks in pictures. Is this the right shade for this look? Maybe not. I feel like it's still slightly too warm since I'm wearing silver. I think I'm going to change this, or I'm going to add one on top. Okay, I want you guys to be able to see what it looks like. Maybe it's okay like this, but I'm just going to add a little bit of Jealousy. I really, really like this one. Definitely deeper, more purple. I just think it'll go better with it. Oh yeah, I like that. Even layered, I like that better. Sometimes it's fun to have a peekaboo of another shade, even like a warmth coming through when you have a cooler tone. I think it can look neat. That's better. That's definitely better. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like in the other lighting real quick, and I'll come back and wrap up my thoughts about the brushes and the Harmony palette. All right, hopefully you got a better idea of what this looks like, and I think it's really, really pretty actually. So let's start with the brushes. I haven't honestly had a chance to use the face brushes. I should have used them today while I was getting ready to film this and totally didn't think about doing it, but I love the way that they look. And if they perform like the eye brushes, then I think they are absolutely a safe bet. You get quite a few in this set. I think you get everything that you really need as far as the sizes that you need, the things that you need it for. Everything is really here. I think the quality is great. $26 for all this in the bag is fantastic. Plus I do have a code. I probably already flashed it on the screen, but you do get, you know, money off that way. So I think it's such a good deal. Hey, I was about to say, if I was a girl who loved makeup or didn't even, okay, I'll say this. I am a girl who loves makeup. If I'm a girl who doesn't know a lot about makeup, but I still want to wear it sometimes, I would love to get this gift. Or if I was a girl who loves makeup already, I would still love to get this as a gift. I think it is an excellent set. As far as Harmony goes, I would give this a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 6 out of 10 because of those 4 dang shades in here. The texture of them. If you took those out, this would be closer to like an 8 for me. For the price, $20 I still think is pretty good. Honestly, what it kind of reminds me of is a little bit better than a Milani palette. And Milani palettes, I want to say, are around $20 now. So I think it's slightly better than, say, a drugstore Milani palette. And for me, I wasn't drawn to the color story enough to get the retro palette from Natasha Denona. So I would never want to spend $60-something on the color story. So I think 20 is still decent, even not using those 4 shades. But my favorite in here is absolutely Charity, is the shimmer right here. But I also really love Chorus and had no problem with the True Matte formula in here. So I do recommend it, just knowing that those 4 shades may be a little bit of a dud for you. And this is just a critique of, honestly, the retro palette. If I were to change the color story of this palette at all, I would put a silver shimmer in here, definitely. I think it needs something like that, but otherwise, overall, I did like this palette. All right, you guys, you'll have to let me know your thoughts. Do you think it would be worth it for $20? What about the brushes? Do you think you might pick them up? Let me know in the comments. Let me know which look that you like the best. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.